Hey, what is going on YouTube? This is Broke Watch Fanatic. For those of you who are just getting into watches, you might be a little confused when it comes time to purchase a GMT watch. You start noticing terms like true GMT or office GMT and wonder what all these GMT terms mean. You start to ask yourself if one is better than the other, or if it's worth paying a premium for the flyer GMT. Yes, the Traveler's GMT is more desirable in the watch world, but is it any better than the Office GMT? And how many different ways did I just describe these two GMT movements? In this video, I'm going to try to clarify all of this. From the very first GMT watch, which was produced in 1953 with the Glycine Airmen, the watch was made for people who would travel past their local time and enter different parts of the world with different time zones. The watch will be able to help you tell the time in your current time zone while being able to display the time back at home. Essentially, it was designed to track two time zones, and as movements improved over the years, with the addition of a rotating 24-hour bezel, you were able to track a third time zone. Today's GMT movements have greatly improved, with features such as a jumping hour hand, quick set date, and the ability to independently move the GMT hand separate from the local hour hand. So which GMT is the right one for you? There are essentially two types of GMT movements out there. On one side, you have a true GMT, or Traveler's GMT, or Flyer GMT. These are terms that are used when the movement features a jumping local hour hand. Highly convenient when you're traveling to a different time zone. For example, say you have both the local and GMT hand set to the same time zone in New York City, your hometown. You get on a plane to fly to LAX. Once you've landed, you can pull the crown out to its first position and jump the local hour hand back 3 hours while still having the seconds run. You've now just set the local time in LA without having to stop the movement, and you can quickly go on about your business. At the same time, you can check the GMT hand to see what time it is back in New York City. One of the downsides to this is that there is no quick set date feature. So say you haven't worn your watch in a while and you need to change the date. The best way to go about this is to rotate the local hour hand until you reach the desired date. It will take a little longer than a quick set, but at least you can rotate it in reverse if you need to backdate. On the flip side, you have your Office GMT or Caller GMT. These types of movements are most convenient when you're working with clients in different time zones or have family overseas and you want to be cognizant of their time zone. In this situation, say your local time is 9 a.m. and you want to keep track of your client's time in LA, which is 3 hours behind. You can pull the crown out to its first position and rotate the crown forward until your GMT hand reaches 6 for 6 a.m. on the GMT bezel. Do not rotate it backwards as this will activate the date wheel. Now you can see that it's 9 a.m. in New York City, your local time, and 6 a.m. in LA. As your day progresses, you can always be conscious of the time on the West Coast with a quick glance at your watch, and you'll be able to tell if your client's office is open for business. If you're tracking your family's time in Singapore, for example, and it's 10:15 a.m. your local time and 10:15 p.m. Singapore time, you'll turn your GMT hand forward 12 times since Singapore is 12 hours ahead until it reaches 22 for 2200 hours. And since the minute hand will be at 15, it'll read 22:15 or 10:15 p.m. That way, you'll know that it's 22:15 in Singapore and it's nighttime, and they're probably getting ready for bed. This type of movement may not be the most desirable in the watch community, but the upside is that the movement features a quick set date function. You see, Instead of having to jump the local hour hand twice around the dial to change the date, all you need to do is pull the crown to its first position, and instead of turning it forward to move the GMT hand, you simply turn it backwards to set the date. Just make sure you're not in the danger zone when you set the date. My definition of danger zone is 9 p.m. to 3 a.m., while others may set theirs to 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Everyone is different. And for those that don't know, this danger zone is when the gears start activating the date wheel to switch the date forward as it turns midnight. You can potentially break the components associated with this function if you change the date during this time period. So it really depends on your lifestyle to see which GMT movement is right for you. The next time you're in the market for a GMT watch, ask yourself if you really need the jumping hour hand, or will an independent GMT hand be more convenient? If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Also, there is a giveaway currently going on. You can find more information in my Seiko SPB381 full review video. Until next time, take care everyone.